Hello, y'all. Jew here. I'm once again back with the analysis after my long, extended break. I was really thinking about how to improve my analysis and slowly drifted apart. But now I'm back again, and this time I'm releasing all the ones I missed starting from episode 16 and going all the way to episode 18. Currently, today I'll be doing episode 16 part 0 all the way to the full episode. So here will be the times for each of them. That way you can skip over to whichever one you like. I'll give you all a second to look it over, but even they're also in the description if you want to see them again. With that being said, I'm about to go into the video, but before I start, make sure you like and subscribe if you want more. And of course, go subscribe to SMF Gladiator if you want more of our content. Anyways, let's get into the video. Episode 16 Part 0 starts off with a completely different setting compared to Episode 15, to where instead of seeing the fight between Titan TV Man versus infected Titan Cameraman inside the wasteland, we actually are somewhere dead center into the city, with a different POV from a different cameraman. Here it seems the cameraman was unconscious in a fight before with probably other allies, but now seems to be the only one left. Aside from him, the only other things that seem to be intact is a laser and headphones that are inside some rubble and on fire currently. As the POV starts looking around, he sees two camera copters begin making their way in, only to get interrupted by the new upgraded Male 07 toilet. The new Male 07 toilet has a bunch of brand new upgrades compared to how we saw him back in episode 12 in the full scenes. Here, he has two brand new mechanical arms, both attached with lasers, which we'll get to see in a second. He also has a brand new core look with some new abilities, hopefully to see soon. Even on the left side of his head, he has a brand new laser attached to his headphones. But other than that, everything about him is still the same. He has the same jetpack on the back of his toilet, with his red mechanical eye on the left side of his head, and the yellow eye on the right side of his head. As soon as the Male 07 toilet makes his in, the rocket copter cameras try and stop him, but the Male 07 just uses his new laser gun to instantly destroy them. As soon as he does that, he then heads his way up more into the city, most likely to stop any more Alliance members. As the Male 07 toilet leaves, the POV cameraman tries to escape out the city, but then a rocket toilet attempts to ram him over. Thankfully, he enters inside of an alleyway. Things don't get better for the POV cameraman though, because as soon as he enters the alleyway, he begins getting transmission errors and recording errors right on his screen. This is where he turns around, only to see the secret agent and a dead cameraman. The secret agent inserts some weird device into the cameraman, to which he turns green and then turns invisible. That's when the secret agent turns around and ending off part 0. The biggest thing that sticks out here is Secret Agent's new look. Compared to how we saw him in episode 6 in season 1 secret scenes, he has a completely new set of clothes. Seeing side by his old look, he first has a brand new suit and pants, rather than his what seems to be armor. His eye is also different, having what seems to be a green mechanical eye. He also has a new pair of a hat. He also has a much larger hat, which it seems. Still the same type, but it seems to be a little bit bigger, being just as huge as his head. Lastly, though, is the device in his hand. The device in Secret Agent hand seems to be somewhat like an infector, some sort of virus that he inserts into cameraman's heads, or even other Alliance members, and able to hack them, bringing them onto their side. But if so, why did they turn green and then turn invisible? Perhaps this device that Secret Agent used isn't just an infector, but rather it could be some type of teleportation, or it could be abilities being spreaded onto the cameraman, being able to teleport back to whatever base secret agent has. It's not clear exactly the main use of the device, but hopefully in the future we'll get to learn more about it. Episode 16, Part 1 starts with some dialogue from Titan TV Man, where he says the following lines: "Found them and connecting." It seems the TV men want to see more about what's going inside the Skibidi toilet base. Find anything useful or see how bad the situation is right now. As the screen glitches, we discover that we actually take the POV of Plunger Speakerman. The first thing that happens is a toilet getting fried by a mech cameraman, which was previously seen in episode 14 and season 4. Here in this shot, we get a good look at what exactly the camera mech looks like. It seems like instead of arms and legs, it has lasers and rockets. And as for the main body itself, it might have someone controlling it on the inside, with armor and cover on the outside. A lens in the middle, where the person controlling it can most likely see through. Continuing on, Plunger Speakerman looks over, only to see Dark Speakerman pick a gun off the ground. This is to where Dark Speakerman looks over, and when he does, he gets stabbed instantly with a knife. It is soon revealed that this actually happened from a toilet, attempting to stop the trio at entering furthermore into the facility. The toilet has a few small things on, with a helmet, a laser on his back, and even 2 small cannons that might be the thing throwing the knives. Dark Speakerman instantly uses the gun he picked up, but it doesn't seem to do too much damage to the toilet. This is where the toilet attempts to use his laser, but Dark Speakerman actually uses the gun to break it off. The helmet explodes off the toilet, and this is where Dark Speakerman takes the knife the toilet stabbed in him and uses his shockwave ability to launch the knife directly at the toilet, killing him and being able to progress furthermore into the facility. After all this, Plunger Speakerman turns around and continues on, but he's quickly stopped by a strange cameraman with a green light. It seems to be one of this cameraman seems to be one of Secret Agent's henchmen, helping out the trio in their further advancement into the Skibidi Toilet's base. When he appears, a transmission error and recording error pops onto Plunger Speakerman's POV. As he slowly appears, the only thing he does is drops the remote as he slowly vanishes away, as long as the transmission and recording errors. This is where Plunger Speakerman slowly goes down to the item the Secret Agent henchman dropped, picks it up, and realizes it's a remote. The thing about this remote is that it rarely seems like similar to the actual device used in the main series. Although it does actually look like a regular remote compared to the mechanical one, but seems like they might do the same function. We actually learn more about this as a Plunger Speakerman uses it to open up a few doors inside of the base. As Plunger Speakerman picks up the device, he slowly looks over to see another green light glowing and transmission errors, recording errors returning. This time, there's nobody there except the green glow, and it points towards a device which Plunger Speakerman uses the remote he picked up to open the door with ease. Before entering, Plunger Speakerman looks back to see the cameraman mech and Dark Speakerman ready to follow within. So they both the three make their entranceway and find a bunch of archives and secret things inside the base. Multiple things stand out here. For starters, the batteries used that used to belong to Titan Battery Man, a blaster that used to belong to Titan Cameraman, and even a part of a jetpack that either belonged to Titan Cameraman or Speakerman. There's also a light dimming on a table with some sort of stuff on it, But more on that will be learned in a second. Further looking around, Plunger Speaker Man sees Dark Speaker Man pick up a jetpack. And underneath him, or above him, there's another device, which we learn about in just a few moments. This is where Plunger Speaker Man goes over to the desk, only to see a photo of the OG Man. The photo here is not totally understandable. Of course, due to the writing, but also because of the angle, which makes it impossible to understand what G-Man is doing. It seems as though he is fighting someone, but only his old self. It seems that G-Man is in this picture is in his astro state back then, who's also fighting someone that might either be the Juggernaut or even a different astro member. I tried brightening the image a bit and adjust it to see if anything else stood out, but the only thing I really got was G-Man's headpiece and what seemed to be some sort of laser arm next to the person G-Man's fighting. Beyond that, the only other obvious things were the buildings behind him. This points back to episode 10, where we saw old G-Man and Astro Juggernaut enter through a portal onto Earth. It seems that somehow this connects back to the picture. It seems that G-Man and Juggernaut were both on a mission, traveling through different places, conquering them, and expanding their domain. But something might have happened on Earth that caused their friendship to crumble and to fight each other. But what exactly happened? What could have G-Man or Juggernaut done in order to break their friendship? It seems that old G-Man and Juggernaut were back on a mission on Earth, trying to conquer it and expand our domain. But something might have happened that G-Man or Juggernaut might have said or done in order to crumble their friendship and force each other to fight. Perhaps this could have been G-Man, who just didn't think this was the right thing to do anymore, or to even be helping the Astros. Or maybe Juggernaut betrayed G-Man. Either way, something definitely happened here, and it definitely changed how G-Man looks today. Moments after seeing this, Plunger Speaker Man's POV starts to glitch out again, to where this time he actually sees a hand pointing him into the direction of a poster. Looking back into it, something about this hand does seem suspicious, because it seems that the henchman from before has been trying to help out both Plunger Speaker Man, Dark Speaker Man, and the camera mech. But why would he hide himself? If he wasn't that concerned with giving Plunger Speaker Man the remote before, why would he be trying to hide his hand? But perhaps maybe this isn't one of Secret Agent's henchmen. Rather, it's actually him. Because sure, while he does give off the transmission error and recording errors, all three of them do see his face still. So if any of them saw Secret Agent, most likely if they made it out alive, they could spread the word. Maybe Secret Agent's trying to hide his face, but still help the Alliance one bit at a time. But why help him? What does Secret Agent want to do to help them, but still keep his identity a secret? Maybe perhaps since the Skippy Toilets are still getting really strong to this day, he's worried that things will still crumble, especially with the Doomsday from the Astro Toilet. Or maybe it could be something else entirely, to where he wants to control the world. We'll have to learn more in the future, but as of now, I'll keep on to these theories. Plunger Speaker Man begins flying towards the poster that the hand pointed to, and this time, it shows information about the same things that happened in episode 10. From the picture, it seems to be the same setting as episode 10, where we saw the past as different scientist humans attempted to make a portal. It also seems that there's writing, where this time I was able to fully edit it and understand it. The first part of the image I'm going to talk about is the top text. And I apologize in advance if some of these words aren't correct. I couldn't fully brighten them due to some of them being blended within the poster. So apologies if some of these words aren't right. Government funds Rebound Laboratory for using dark matter in project rituals. Of these projects have not been released to the public yet abduct. The government most likely wanted to support this laboratory for military purposes. They wanted to gather magic and make them into weapons so they could win wars or even conquer land. And it seems as though they did not want to yet release it to the public due to not only bad people claiming them, but also so no citizen can protest against them. Next is the middle section with the picture of the laboratory. Here it seems that this is either the garage part of the laboratory, or this is the main part with the portal. Either way, the main things that stick out is the two beams next to what's in the middle. There's also two scientists on both part of these beams, most likely to study them. The last part of this image is the bottom part with the little bit of text left. This one was a little bit more understandable and actually makes sense for the poster. The bottom part reads, "Citizens worry if the projects are for war purposes." As I mentioned for the top text, it seems the government mainly funded this project due to wanting to use the dark matter for war purposes or even military tactics. But somehow it seems that they wanted to hide it, but yet it got out to public. This could mainly be due to the secret agent or just someone else we haven't seen yet. Although maybe the government just weren't that sneaky in hiding it. Of course, things are never easy though, because after Plunger Speakerman takes a good look at the poster, things instantly start going wrong where sirens begin going off. This is where we see the machine from earlier open up and out comes a mechanical claw, which grabs Dark Speakerman and picks him up. The cameraman mech and Plunger Speakerman try to help, but another one of the claws come out and instantly, instead of picking them up, it brings them back, taking them outside of the garage door. Plunger Speakerman tries to get up and help Dark Speakerman, but it's too late as the door closes, ending off part 1. Now moving on to episode 16, part 2, where it starts off as this, where the ending of 16, part 1 left off, as both Plunger Speakerman and the camera mech got shoved out the storage unit. Plunger Speakerman tries to get Dark Speakerman back, but fails as the storage unit closes. Plunger Speakerman then gives up as he looks back at the camera mech. It seems that the force of which he was pushed damaged him a bit and had him being weakened. As the camera mech slowly dies down, Plunger Cameraman gives head gestures to see if he could use his lasers. The camera mech tries, but he can't for he's too weak and then powers down. Hopefully not for long though. Before moving on, a thing to note is that in the background, it sounds like there's a bunch of toilets coming Plunger Speakerman's way. This is actually proven later on in the part, which I'll get to in a moment, but this actually does end up losing Plunger Speakerman's life. Plunger Speakerman doesn't give up though, and even though he doesn't have the help of the mech cameraman, he turns around to see the remote given by Secret Agent's henchman in the previous part. He flies over and picks it up, trying to see if he could use it again, just like how he used it the first time to open up the storage unit door. After obtaining the remote, Plunger Speakerman uses it to open up the garage unit once more, and it does indeed work still, despite its force. But this time, as he looks in, the storage unit is empty. Dark Speakerman doesn't seem to be in the room, and all the security tentacles have been put back into place. The thing is, though, the room wasn't actually empty, because Dark Speakerman instantly comes out, but not friendly. He pins Plunger Speaker Man to the ground and starts punching him multiple times. Thankfully, Plunger Speaker Man fight back and use a cord, but it doesn't end up saving him because a toilet uses a flash beam on him and electrocutes him, stunning him and powering him down. This toilet is actually the exact one making the noises earlier, and he was most likely hiding in the shadows, waiting for the right opportunity to get Plunger Speaker Man. The part two doesn't end though, because an hour later, it seems that Plunger Speaker Man finally powers back on, using a backup power. The screen glitches a bit as he wakes up, chained inside a lab. After Plunger Speaker Man gets back online, he attempts to struggle and gets out the chains but can't. And things begin to get worse because the scientist flies down from above. The scientist's toilet does seem different compared to how we last saw him while he was fighting Dark Speaker Man and even flying into the base in Season 3. The only major thing that the scientist has compared to how we saw him last in Season 3 is his two mechanical arms. It makes it seem like a lot more toilets are receiving arms because last time in episode 16 part 0, we saw the male 07 toilet had brand new arms as long as lasers. So perhaps this means a lot more toilets in the future will be receiving arms, whether they're huge or small, big leaders, or even just small units. They might also receive legs too, and maybe even cores, because even just small units have been receiving cores as well. The scientist also does speak to Plunger Speaker Man before his awaited death. In English, he says, "It's over. Time to die." Here you go, listen to it for yourselves. It's time to die. As soon as he says this to Plunger Speaker Man, using his hand, he unlocks the main gate door, and on the other side is Dark Speaker Man, who instantly flies up to Plunger Speaker Man and the scientist. Plunger Speaker Man takes one last look at the scientist and Dark Speaker Man, as Dark Speaker Man clucks the core out of Plunger Speaker Man, making him power down and instantly ending off part 2, with one final look at the camera offline. Now clearly it seems that the biggest question of this part is, why did Dark Speaker Man betray Plunger Speaker Man? Sure, while the most logical thing is that he could be infected, nothing on him really shows that. I say this is because in the last episodes, we've seen each Titan get affected aside from Titan TV Man. And with it, they've either had an orange glow, yellow glow, or just something to represent that they've been affected. Here though, Dark Speaker Man doesn't show any signs. And while sure, nothing on him also can't show that, maybe even the dot in the middle could have shown it. But maybe this could be some new knowledge for the toilets. Being able to affect each alliance member, but not have it on their backs, rather somewhere else. Maybe they inserted chips into their brain. Or possibly they could have been controlling them, putting something on their back like the jetpacks. A little bit more less of a logical theory is that this could have maybe happened a little bit more back then, right before episode 16. Back in episode 7, Dark Speaker Man was trying to get Scientist Toilet, and we know that he found secret information from it. But how could he have attained this information? Maybe somehow he got infected during his fight between the Scientist Toilet, or something else happening before that. Other than that, I don't think he could have gotten affected unless it happened more before episode 16. Thinking about it more logically, this also could have been the jetpack Dark Speaker Man picked up. Because as far as it looks, it doesn't seem like an ordinary jetpack. Something that's just standing in the middle, not having any protection or even something guarding it whatsoever. Perhaps this could have been a trap set by the toilets, because we know even in episode 16 part 1, it was known that the mech cameraman, plunger speakerman, and dark speakerman were all tricked into the storage compartment. So perhaps the jetpack could have also been another trick to infect Dark Speaker Man. As for the final part of episode 16, we're on to episode 3, where it actually starts off with a reboot to what seems to be a cameraman. It is revealed that this reboot belongs to the mech cameraman, who got downed in the last part. This is fascinating to see because it's starting to seem like all cameramen are now having some backup source of power used to reboot themselves in case of emergency situations. I say this because back in episode 15, we see a cameraman who seemed to be recently powered down during a battle between the toilets. It seems that somehow, though, he had backup power in order to get himself back on his feet. This mainly seems that more cameraman, and maybe even speaker and TV man, will start receiving external power. This mainly seems like more TV man, cameraman, speaker man, and even battery man will start receiving external power for emergency situations. The episode actually starts off with a new POV, and this new POV is of mech cameraman. It seems like after his fall in episode 16 part 2, he's now back up on his feet, ready to help. As he begins to get up, a TV man appears on his screen, with an arrow on the TV man's screen as he says, "This way," pointing him into the direction of the entrance to the scientist's lair. As he slowly flies over, the mech cameraman is met by the brand new TV man, who have been recently seen in season 4, but since I didn't cover it due to how late I am, I decided to just skip it. Here though, the TV man has a bunch of new upgrades compared to the old TV man in the original series. It's a little difficult to see, but it seems that this TV man has a laser on his right arm, some speakers next to the side of his TV, and some sort of ability that gives an upgrade to the mech cameraman. He might also have a jetpack straight on his back used to help him fly. And of course, his magical teleportation powers, as every TV man has it. The ability the TV man uses is similar to Titan TV man. He uses some type of beam in order to give the mech cameraman extra power, helping his laser abilities, but also more durability. After the TV man helps power up mech cameraman, he teleports off. His location to where he teleported off is unknown, but it could be somewhere else in the base, or even just helping out others in the city. Back onto his mission, mech cameraman destroys the panel to the scientist's lair, making the gate open up and having him access to enter. Inside, the mech cameraman sees the now dead plunger speaker man. Beyond him, there doesn't seem to be anyone else. This is concerning though, because in the previous part, we saw Dark Speaker Man and Scientists were just here, but now they seem to be gone. To where is unknown, but we do know the Scientist location, which we're about to see in just a second. Things aren't easy for the mech cameraman, because as soon as he enters, a security laser instantly starts to destroy him, but he quickly acts flying away and destroying the panel. Of course, though, another laser tries to kill him, but just as before, he's able to stop it. This time, though, it damages his legs, making him unable to fly. If things didn't get any worse, the floor instantly opens up, only to reveal the scientist, or at least his huge body, open up. He starts to use a laser but gets interrupted by the large TV man, who helps out by using his teleportation ability to break off one of his lasers. He also uses his TV beam to this. Things get worse because the ground instantly opens up, only for the new scientist mech to arise from it. The new scientist's toilet is a lot bigger, mainly because it's a robot with the real scientist inside. More on that later. But also beyond for this four lasers and even two other weapons, there's not too much else difference except for the red eyes he has. As the mech cameraman's about to get shored, the large TV man enters the facility to help out. The large TV man begins by using his teleportation to redirect the laser to the scientist's toilet and break off one of his lasers. He even uses his TV beam while he pulls up the middle finger. On top of that, even in his condition, the mech cameraman helps out by using his laser and break off a big chunk of the facility, crashing it on scientist's toilet, damaging him, and winning the fight. The new look on the large TV man isn't too much different. He has what seems to be Titan Cameraman's blaster, four speakers that extend wide, and two additional TVs right on his head, back to back. The large TV man continues helping by getting the dead plunger speaker man, unshackling him, and carrying him out the building. But before he can take him out of the scientist's lair, the ground opens up one more time, with this time the damaged scientist flying straight out. Here, the scientist's toilet's head is all bloody, and he's missing his right mechanical arm. Both the TV man and the both the TV man and the mech cameraman attempt to stop him by powering lasers and plasma balls at the scientist, but they're quickly stopped by what seems to be a large male 07 toilet as the scientist flies away, escaping the scene. The thing about this toilet is that it looks very similar to the male 07 toilet, but it's not actually him. For starters, his robotic eye is completely different compared to his normal red eye. This male 07 toilet also doesn't have a yellow regular eye, and the laser on the left side of his head is completely different. Not sure why he still has the same headphones and form. This seems to be a different clone of the male 07 toilet. Perhaps the male 07 toilet made multiple clones of himself, or possibly this is a smaller version of him. I don't know, but this definitely does lead into many different theories that will mainly need evidence to back it up. More reinforcements come into the scientist's facility as a brand new tech laser with rockets on it tries to kill both the large TV man and mech cameraman. Thankfully, the large TV man teleports both the mech cameraman and himself away before the laser could hit. The large TV man isn't done though, because he also teleports again twice, bringing out two things of the toilet's technology: artifacts. The first thing the large TV man brings to the mech cameraman is a strange book with the toilet symbol on it. This might be a special notebook containing upgrades and schematics on it. This might also include special tales about the toilets, their origins, and what their plans are. The second thing the large TV man brings out of the portal is some weird device, or at least that's what it looks like to begin with. but it turns out it's actually a parasite. And we learned that it came from Dark Speaker Man. It seems that somehow hidden in the storage room there was a parasite. And when Dark Speaker Man got captured for a moment, the parasite must have got out and attached onto Dark Speaker Man. I say this because as soon as the large TV man comes out of the portal, he's holding Dark Speaker Man. So meaning while collecting these items, he most likely ran into Dark Speaker Man, uninfected him, and brought him to the cameraman mech. As for the final trip, the large TV man teleports the mech cameraman off back to the cameraman base, ending off episode 16, part 3. Now this wasn't just something random that the large TV man done. Because if you remember from episode 12, part 1, Titan Cameraman explains that the point of the mission wasn't just to bring Titan Battery Man back. Rather, though, to collect upgrade schematics and important details from the toilets inside the base. It seems that now the large TV man was able to complete this mission. Once the large TV man is done with all this stuff, he holds what seems to be the body of Dark Speaker Man, as he also teleports the large mech cameraman away, ending off the episode. As for the bonus part of this episode, I want to quickly go over the secret scenes for the full episode of episode 16. But since this video is pretty long, I decided to keep it short with a quick summary. The secret scene started at the beginning of episode 16, and it's inside the TV Man base. Titan TV Man is quickly getting upgrades as he wants eyes based on what's going on in the city. He also asks where the heck is the flippin' scientist. The scientist enters with the following lines: I found him. Turn on POV 1001-3, which is the ID of the cameraman. Both the large TV screen and the small TV of the POV TV man turns on. And here we go into episode 16, part 0. We go back into the TV man base, where both the big screen and the small screen are offline due to the events that happened in episode 16, part 0. However, the TV man scientist says, wait, the agents are close to the scientist. Turn on POV 103 to where we start in episode 16, part 1, as the screens once again flash again, connecting to what seems to be Plunger Speaker Man. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, this was my small little comeback. I'm just getting adjusted to doing all the parts, so I apologize if some things were just a little off, or there were glitches, or errors. But anyways, I think part 17 might be out by now. Hopefully you guys will watch as well, and hey, be sure to hit the subscribe button to, of course, not only me, but SMF Gladiator, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Peace out.